A lot of talk about the major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court today, striking down many of President Trump's tariffs. In a 6-3 decision, the justices said Trump had overstepped his authority.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed.
Just hours after that ruling, Trump warned that he will try to hit countries with tariffs now in a different way, announcing he will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff above the normal tariffs already being charged. But of course, there are still just a lot of questions surrounding these rulings and Trump's response to it. Gordon Severson shows us how local businesses are now reacting to this news.
I felt like 1,000 pounds come off my chest.
When Beth Beneke heard the news that the Supreme Court struck down a large chunk of the Trump administration's tariffs, she was relieved.
Really happy. Immediate response, really happy.
She owns Busy Baby, a company that specializes in baby products, which are manufactured in China. So for her, the tariffs have been devastating.
The worst time of my life.
But then hours later, she heard President Trump was doubling down, using other ways to create new tariffs.
This kind of creates a new level of uncertainty.
Tyler Schipper, an economics professor at the University of St. Thomas, says the president can use other sections of the Trade Act to enact smaller, more specific tariffs on certain countries and products. So for businesses, he says it's unclear how much money they will save, if any, moving forward. And it's unlikely companies will lower their prices now that many of the tariffs are going away.
People shouldn't see this as a win for their own pocketbook, unfortunately.
The Minnesota Department of Agriculture commissioner says it's also unclear how these new tariffs will affect farmers, if they will be in a better or worse situation moving forward.
I think we're going to have to give it a couple of weeks to maybe even a month or two before we really see how it shakes out.
Beneke is hopeful that even though she may see some new tariffs down the road, that they won't be as extreme as they have been over the last few months.
I don't have the fear right now that I've had for the last 10 months that I might wake up tomorrow and there might be 100% tariff added to, goods coming from China.
Another big question is, now that the Supreme Court essentially ruled that it was illegal to collect these tariffs, will companies get their money back? Experts I spoke with say probably, but it's unclear how that would happen and how long it would take. In his press conference today, the president said these rebates or refunds could be held up in the courts for years.
So still leaving people in limbo for quite some time. Gordy, thank you.